Big Show and Kevin Nash, they've been injury struck and haven't been with the best of luck in recent weeks. And now they're set to go on, well, this is a sign of sportsmanship. They're shaking their hands, and I don't know what this is about. And why is Nash asking for a mic?
You've been sitting out here for 6 months running your mouth. This is where the big boys play, huh? Play. We ain't here to play. Now, he said last week that he was going to bring somebody out here. I'm here. You still don't have you 3 people. And you know why? Because nobody wants to face us. This show's about as interesting. Yeah, no trouble, because you know I'll kick your teeth down your throat. Where's your 3 guys? You couldn't get a paleontologist to get a couple of these fossils cleared?
They should be wrestling.
You ain't got enough guys off a dialysis machine to get a team? Hey, we're here. You want to say something? Bring what you got. The measuring stick just changed around here, buddy. You're looking at it.
Well, that was controversial. Kevin Nash, that's eerily similar to an event in 1996 where a supergroup was formed. Unbeknownst to many of us, that moment would signify the start of one of the biggest changes in NLW history. Tonight, here on Metal, we chronicle the NWO's rise of dominance over the past year. Will the NWO come to an end at WrestleMania, or will they reign supreme as winners and control No Limits Wrestling forever? We will find out at WrestleMania, but tonight we take an in-depth look at how the controversy started. You saw there, Kevin Nash and the Big Show, scheduled to have a one-on-one matchup, decided that they weren't going to wrestle each other. Instead, they were going to form a force which they intended to use to capture NLW Tag Team Championships and take over the company. While at the time, it did seem like an empty threat, the dominance they displayed over the weeks following that initial speech from Nash showed that they were here to stay. And at Over the Limit, despite losing the tag team opportunity against Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez, they sent a message after that matchup that left the NLW universe in tatters. The symbolic spray painting of Chavo Guerrero with those 3 letters, NWO. Shortly following Over the Limit, there was an opportunity for Kevin Nash and the Big Show to show themselves on the grand stage. A cross-the-line special where every championship was on the line, including the NLW Tag Team Championships. Now, at this point, the commissioner was trying to stop the NWO. Clearly in hindsight it's a shock to believe now, but at the time the commissioner wanted to put an end to this group before it could begin to develop. However, once Kevin Nash and the Big Show threatened the commissioner, he had no choice but to put them into the Tag Team Championship matchup, which was originally Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez defending against the Brood, thus making it a triple threat tag team matchup and one of the first real successes of the NWO. It's great to see Rey Mysterio up and walking here again. But look at this from Burchill, the moonsault! What a moonsault by Burchill! And we saw this past week on Metal, the high-flying ability that the new Brood possesses. And it's just been on display just then. Rey Mysterio, can't believe it, he's been away for ages and I'm sure he's glad to be on his feet again and here in NLW. Nevertheless, look at that athleticism by Burchill in this triple threat tag team matchup for the NLW tag team titles. The moonsault. And now, although he's not the legal man, I don't think, he does hit a springboard, but doesn't connect with Chavo. And now Rey Mysterio yet again telling Chavo he's feeling froggy, and now on the top rope the frog splash to Paul Burchill. Frog splash, oh my god, what a flipping knockout! And we have new champions from out of nowhere. New tag team champions. They weren't even supposed to be in this matchup. a few minutes ago, and now they've ended up as tag team champions, and Rey Mysterio can't believe it. With hold of the top prize in the tag team division in NLW, the NWO looked further beyond that. Once they put away Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez in the following weeks, they set their sights on a bigger target, a demon, Kane. Kane, in the midst of a massive feud with Randy Orton, ended in an ambulance match at Sacrifice, where to the shock of the world, the NWO would help Randy Orton defeat Kane in that ambulance matchup, officially setting their sights on proving they were the most dominant tag team in the wrestling industry by attacking one of our veterans. However, their dominance wasn't to last. The Undertaker, making a triumphant return from injury, made his intentions clear that he was going to fight alongside his brother, reuniting the Brothers of Destruction against the NWO. The match may have been set for Heatwave for the Tag Team Championships, however several interesting developments arise heading into that event. For one, R-Truth was in the background complaining to the Commissioner, his frustration building over not getting the title opportunities he felt he deserved, not to mention the Brothers of Destruction signs of disrespect towards him. This frustration led to one of the most shocking incidents in NLW history. While The Undertaker was not there on the summer edition of Metal, Kevin Nash, Big Show and R-Truth looked to assault Kane. R-Truth had cost Kane a matchup with Nash just prior, and once the Commissioner came out, he attempted to stop the injustice. But what followed was a vicious attack on the Commissioner that drove him right through our announce table. With the intent to stand up for NLW and to stand up against the NWO, the Brothers of Destruction had a huge opportunity to put an end to the NWO before it had a chance to take more gold. And Kane has nowhere to go. Kane has nowhere to go. He's in the middle of the ring and he may fade out here. May fade out fast, in fact, and the Undertaker wants to make the tag. But Kane is in the middle of the ring. And a stunner! And the tag! The Undertaker's back in now! And punches to Kevin Nash. Sends him off the ropes. And a massive clothesline. The Undertaker going full force on Kevin Nash right here. And the NWO are in deep trouble. You feel right now. Are we going to see a chokeslam? But now the Big Show's back in. And the Big Show wants to deliver a chokeslam of his own. But now Kane is back in. And sends Big Show over the top rope. But now here's Nash. Wants to deliver the jackknife. But a back body drop by Undertaker reverses it that time. Could have been over for him right there. But now he's back up. And now the tombstone pole driver. He's got it in the middle of the ring, but... Oh, and here we go. Here we go. This is what I was talking about earlier. R-Truth. And he's not even part of the damn matchup, but he's interfering here and distracting the Undertaker. And I wasn't well, to be fair, I was expecting R-Truth. That's how this NWO thing operates. They cheat to win. Hang on a minute. What the hell? What the hell is he doing here? It's the NLW Commissioner. And he is getting his revenge right here. The Commissioner getting revenge after being powerbombed through a table a few weeks ago on Metal at the hands of the NWO. He's put in the hospital, and now the Kane dropping the big body across all three of them. I'm surprised. Oh, hang on a minute. And now, out of all the commotion, a jackknife powerbomb. And don't tell me it's going to end like this. Oh. And Kevin Nash, throughout all the commotion, hitting the jackknife onto the Undertaker here and retaining the titles for the NWO. And so with that, R-Truth officially cemented himself as a member of the New World Order, attempting, along with Kevin Nash and the Big Show, to take control of the company. In this way, they decided that they were going to try and do whatever it takes to make their voices heard. However, one man who was opposed to that was the NLW Commissioner. After another assault, the Commissioner had enough. He made the matchup for Metal Episode 20, a match that will go down in history. The Brothers of Destruction teaming up with the Commissioner against Kevin Nash, the Big Show, and R-Truth in a buried alive match. It was a one-of-a-kind match that was the first ever, but what had people talking was the ending, the results of which we're still feeling to this day. As mentioned, it was this past week that DX, well, we thought it was going to be a DX reunion, but oh my, a massive shovel shot to the head. Kane is just about down. Of course, Shawn Michaels and Triple H not usually on the same page, but they were this past week for their own reasons, each of them with their own reasons to try and take out the NWO. But now you can see the NWO working well together. But not for long, a clobbering chair shot to the back of the head. And now a massive drop kick by R-Truth. And now the Commissioner coming too. Only just about though. And now R-Truth, you can see him taunting this audience, but oh no. Oh no! Tombstone on the dirt. Tombstone on the grass. And R-Truth is knocked out. And now look at Kevin Nash coming back with a vengeance. Clothesline him in the... Oh no. Oh my god! Oh my god! That is... Those steps have to weigh a ton! Oh no! And after clobbering Undertaker with the steps, he's looking to bury the Commissioner alive, for God's sake. Leave him alone, for God's sake. And now, it is Kane to the rescue. Kane is looking for a chokeslam into that grave. Are we going to see the chokeslam? Oh my god! What the hell just happened? What are you doing? What is he doing? The Commissioner! What the hell is he? Oh my god, he's been buried alive. The Commissioner! What in the hell has he done? What on earth has just happened? Kane is... You cannot see Kane anymore. He is covered in dirt. And what the hell was that sick bastard doing? And with that one lethal blow, the Commissioner officially cemented himself as the new leader of the NWO. He would later go on to explain that this was because he would rather fight alongside his enemies than against them. The Commissioner had given up at this point, but the rest of the NLW locker room had not. Particularly D-Generation X. Now Triple H and Shawn Michaels is a well-documented past here in No Limits Wrestling. They did not like each other, but when Triple H returned at Heatwave, he was greeted with an assault from the NWO, and the following night the NWO looked to do the same thing to the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. However, the unlikely hero to save the day was the game Triple H. Shawn Michaels was at first confused, but then he managed to return the favour on metal. We were beginning to see a reunion of sorts, emerging with D-Generation X, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. However, the tension was still there, and the question was always looming: how long were they going to be able to work together against a common enemy? Well, this so-called common enemy wasn't to be. As we would soon find out, the two members of D-Generation X, not only were they not getting along, but one of them wasn't even on the other one's side. After the break, we'll show you the shocking betrayal of Shawn Michaels at the Royal Rumble and the events that followed, resulting in one of the biggest talent acquisitions in the NWO's history. Someone once said, some people think that to be strong is to never feel pain. In reality, the strongest people are the ones who feel it, understand it, and accept it. And speaking of pain, oh my god! Have you ever seen anything like this? We have a new champion! What the hell are we witnessing? This is WrestleMania, baby.
The newest member of the NWO, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels! If you mistreat a wrestler of the caliber of Shawn Michaels, you get what you deserve, and that's exactly what you got at the Royal Rumble. And if anybody thinks they're going to ruin our night, you have got another thing coming.
What the hell is the NWO doing out here? Oh my god! And the NWO assaulting last night's Royal Rumble winner, The Undertaker, being made an example of by these guys.
This is my company! This is the NWO's company! And anybody who stands in the way of that is going to get crushed. So let this be an example to everybody in the back if they think they're going to ruin tonight and tonight's announcement. Well, according to my watch, it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out who the new #1 contender is.
But what is this? Well, they intended it to be Shawn Michaels, but Shawn Michaels is being beaten up by the man he betrayed. Triple H assaulting Shawn, and the NWO going out to help. But look who's taking advantage of this! The open contract is still in place, and CM Punk kicking the head off of AJ Styles. And CM Punk signs the contract CM Punk has made himself the new #1 contender for the world title, and AJ Styles is livid. Well, this matchup between Sting and HBK is descending into chaos. The NWO getting themselves involved. But here come the forces. Here comes the backup. But Shawn takes advantage of the distraction and Sting loses. And now the NWO continuing their assault. It's Kane! Kane is back! After being buried alive by the NWO. And now, the Commissioner, in awe, tombstone to our truth. Kane, Sting, The Undertaker, Triple H, all of these guys want to get their hands on the NWO. This is a revolution. The uprising, the resistance in NLW has arrived. As you just witnessed, the NWO were coming up against a brick wall, and that brick wall was the form of the resistance. Kane, Sting, The Undertaker and Triple H. 4 men who love No Limits Wrestling, have a passion for wrestling, and didn't want to see this business go into the hands of people like the New World Order. An Elimination Chamber matchup was set up for Havoc, but the carnage wasn't going to wait. After Triple H had beaten up Shawn Michaels in the supermarket after he attempted to win the Hardcore Championship, Triple H was banned from the building at Extreme Reunion. However, with the knowledge of Kane, The Undertaker and Sting lurking in the building, the huge Extreme Rules Tag Team main event between the NWO of Shawn Michaels and R-Truth taking on Chris Jericho and Tommy Dreamer cast some doubt whether or not the NWO were going to be able to steal the victory like they'd done in the past. Unbeknownst to us at the time, they were going to have a massive helping hand. My God. Dream's in the ring but switching music. And Michaels, look at him. How the hell's he still standing? Oh, and a code breaker. And now Jericho may need to capitalise on this now. It's now on Evan, pal. You gotta do it, son. Oh, hang on. What in God's name? That's Seth freaking Rollins! Oh my God, what's he doing here? Oh my Lord, a curb stomp! Curb stomp onto the thumbtacks! 1, 2, R-Truth goes into the cover! And the NWO! The NWO have won, and... What in the hell is he doing out here? What is he doing assault? Well... Did the NWO even know what's just happened? Seth freaking Rollins! Despite some hiccups for the NWO, including Kevin Nash and the Big Show finally losing their tag team championships to the Young Bucks, thanks to the Undertaker, Sting and Kane, they did have many more successes, some of which included Seth Rollins costing Sting his match against R-Truth, the Commissioner publicly humiliating and firing Chris Jericho just one day after Christmas, embarrassing Triple H, and even earlier in the evening of the Elimination Chamber, burying Kane alive. The NWO headed into the Elimination Chamber with high hopes. However, Sting, The Undertaker and Triple H had something to say about it. The only 2 men remaining in that matchup were Triple H and Shawn Michaels, but as we know by now, the NWO had another ace up their sleeve. The brutality is off the charts, and the NWO and the Resistance, only 2 remain. Michaels and Triple H, the men who fought at last year's WrestleMania. And you can see that the Commissioner's not happy, and he may not be happy after this pedigree on the steel. And Triple H with that massive pedigree on the steel, similar to the one that Michaels gave Triple H at the end of last episode. And he may want to go for the cover, but now the Big Show's out here, and the Big Show is trying to break the lock. Maybe the Commissioner is regretting not putting the Big Show in this matchup anymore. The Big Show is trying to break that chain to break into the chamber, but Triple H just taunting him. He's in the driver's seat. What the hell? A part of that. What the hell's this? Oh my God! What in God's name's happening here? That's Razor Scott Hall. aka Ramon, and what on earth? What is going on? Well, all I saw was part of the chamber lift up one of those pieces, just lifted up, and out came Scott. Oh my God, the razor's edge on that steel chair. What the hell? Oh, don't tell me. Oh, damn it. And don't tell me it just ended like that. First of all, how long was Scott Hall, aka Ramon, how long was he under this ring? A victory ensured that the NWO were at the top of the food chain and couldn't be stopped, or so we thought at the time. Scott Hall's introduction meant that the NWO was seemingly unstoppable. When we come back, we're going to show you why each and every wrestler in the NLW locker room were fearing for their careers and the devastation they laid upon John Cena.
I can't begin to tell you how sick and tired I am of this damn company. I'll make no bones about it, I want power in No Limits Wrestling. I want ultimate control. We, as the NWO, want ultimate control, and you're gonna find out soon enough what happens when we don't get it. Why don't you ask CM Punk? Why don't you ask Finn Balor? Why don't you ask Jeff Hardy? Hell, Triple H is too damn scared to show his face since we beat him up so badly at Havoc in the Elimination Chamber. So is anybody gonna stop us? Because we'll just bowl you over like we've done to everybody I've mentioned.
Wait a minute! Oh my God, it's John Cena! Are you kidding me? John Cena's here!
That's it. After an unbelievable tirade like that, a suspension, you're going to call him a punk and kick him to the curb. You're so worried. You're so very worried.
No. You are not under contract. You have no right to talk to me that way. I'm not worried. Hell, at least you can do one thing for me, and that's show a little bit of class before you leave, eh? Thank you, John. Piece of shit.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, and it's a pack mentality. Oh my God, this is enough.
Now you can still do the you can't see me stick. Break his other arm.
Oh my God, not again.
Now you can still hop to the ring, break his other leg. Now you can still talk trash from that mouth of his, stomp his face into the canvas.
And again, this is just disgusting.
This is what we do to your heroes. And act fast, otherwise, all the rest of the wrestlers who disagree with us are going to end up like this. Nash, kill this son of a...
This group has gone too far. I've said that in the past, but now it is official. They have gone too far, and somebody needs to stop this. Triple H was contemplating retirement. CM Punk was demoralised after his world title loss. Jeff Hardy was speared through the cage after assaulting the commissioner. Finn Balor called them out on social media, only to get chokeslammed on the set of steel steps. We still hadn't seen Chris Jericho after he was fired months prior, and it seemed like there was no stopping the NWO before they went too far and nearly killed John Cena. The board of directors scheduled an emergency meeting to discuss the situation, and the discussions led to the huge announcement of a main event WrestleMania matchup pitting Team NWO versus Team NLW. If the NWO won, they would take control of the company. However, if NLW won, the NWO would have to disband and the commissioner would be the commissioner no longer. That is the match that we face at WrestleMania, and it is the most important match in this company's history. While Triple H was in the ring contemplating retirement, not even planning on being in the match at WrestleMania, several allies came to his stand to fight the NWO, including the man that you voted in to NLW in the Slammies, Dean Ambrose. Now over the past few weeks, it has been a chaotic time. We saw the original Lumberjack matchup blow up into chaos when Triple H and CM Punk failed to put their personal animosities aside after he arrived late to the building, and when Triple H accidentally hit Punk with a steel chair, all hell broke loose. That was further emphasised on episode 41 where Triple H faced CM Punk, defeated him, but CM Punk didn't feel much like shaking hands, kicking him in the head, and unfortunately he had to be sent home while the rest of NLW thought about how they were going to tackle this big challenge at WrestleMania. We've seen classic battles such as Jeff Hardy versus Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose versus Shawn Michaels, and of course the monumentous win for Finn Balor when he defeated R-Truth for the Intercontinental Championship with the help of Dean Ambrose, who finally snapped and attacked the commissioner, who then got his retribution by arresting him the following evening. After twists and turns along the way, the final match before WrestleMania was a first blood matchup between arguably the team leaders, Triple H and Shawn Michaels went one-on-one in this First Blood matchup, and there were several questions that still needed to be answered. Who was loyal, who wasn't, and which team was looking most likely to gain ultimate control at WrestleMania. As Triple H wisely rolls to the outside, and Shawn Michaels goes after the attack, and instead gets spine busted on the floor for his troubles, and there's no give on the outside there. Concrete. Both of these men on opposing teams at WrestleMania. High stakes matchup. But again, this is arguably another high stake. Oh, hang on! Oh, and I was about to say, wait, doesn't matter what I was about to say. Look at this! The commissioner driving Triple H's head into that steel post, and there are no disqualifications. And now Triple H takes care of the commissioner, and now that pedigree on the steel steps, and surely Michaels is bleeding now. Wait, the match is over. Oh, and now I see. Oh my God, now I see indeed. Look at the face of Triple H, a bloody mess. Shawn Michaels could have been busted open from that pedigree on the steps, and look at Balor and Chris Jericho, the only other two members that are still intact at the moment. And they're protesting again, and oh, come on. And here come the outsiders, and there's Rollins and R-Truth, and now every member of the NWO going after three guys. But wait a minute. And look who's back to try and even the odds. Hardy, who was assaulted earlier tonight, prevented from being in the six-man tag earlier by the Big Show. But even Hardy, it's still 4-on-6. And it's still the numbers advantage to the NWO. Well, look who's here! And CM Punk! We haven't seen him since he kicked Triple H's head in. And I told him, personally, not to show up unless he was going to fight for NLW, and that's exactly what he's doing now. Oh no. Oh damn it, no. Is he the secret weapon? Is he betrayed us? No! It was a ruse! Punk lulling the commissioner into a false sense of security and showing he is NLW through and through. But again, look at this. A mass what the hell's that? Well, a mass brawl in the ring. And oh my lord, look at that. Is that? That's Dean Ambrose. What the hell? I thought he was arrested earlier tonight for assaulting the commissioner. Apparently he's been freed, and oh, he's going after him again. Ambrose driving the police van into the arena. He's been released on bail apparently, and he's going to fight for NLW, the most important match in NLW history, WrestleMania. The WrestleMania logo was made by Dynamic Art Effects. I can't stress enough the amazing edits that they've done. Go check them out on Instagram. They made the WrestleMania logo you're looking at now, and I cannot wait for WrestleMania. It is this Saturday, and several matches have already been announced, including the Hardcore Championship Invitational. Daniels puts the title on the line against Regal, Finlay, Sabu and Akio. And remember folks, it's an invitational matchup, so there could be more people added. It's come as you are for the Hardcore Championship. The X Division titles on the line in a battle of the Technical Masters. Their rivalry in Ring of Honor was an instant classic. They carry it over to WrestleMania. Can Aries hold on to the title, or will Daniel Bryan be the first man to beat him for that championship? We will see at WrestleMania. And also another man who is unpinned, unsubmitted in NLW is the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Drew Galloway hopes to resurge the pro wrestling industry with a win over Kurt Angle. He wants to develop a revolution in pro wrestling, and he can start that by defeating Kurt Angle, being the first man to do so. It's for the Women's Championship Triple Threat rules. Trish, Charlotte, AJ Lee. This past week, AJ Lee got a last chance reprieve and got entered into this Triple Threat matchup to make it a Triple Threat, but who is walking out of WrestleMania to make history as the first ever Women's Champion. And also, this is historic in itself. Tables, ladders and chairs for the NLW Tag Team Championships. The Brood, the Young Bucks, RVD and Raven, and the Filthy Animals battle out for Tag Team Glory at WrestleMania. And speaking of glory, Bray Wyatt wants to start his own brand of legacy. He has tried to get into the mind of Sting with several blackout attacks, but Sting has returned the favour with some mind games of his own. But it's not going to be a battle of the minds of WrestleMania, it's going to be a battle of the fists. Bray Wyatt takes on Sting at the grand stage. And this is a match that is destined for the grand stage in itself. At the last WrestleMania, they faced off in a street fight where Batista was forced to retire. But now Batista is back and he's looking for retribution. The way that they fought in that local bar establishment, driving themselves through the window, shows they'll do anything. And who will be the last man standing at WrestleMania? It's for the World Heavyweight Championship. The Undertaker returned to much fanfare this past week, driving AJ Styles, breaking the ring in fact. And AJ Styles is not in a good mood heading into WrestleMania, defends his world title against the Phenom, The Undertaker. Biggest match of both these men's careers, and you want to talk about a big fight feel. It's the main event. It is elimination match for control. The NWO take on NLW. If NLW win, the NWO disbands, but if the NWO win, they get complete control of the company. It's WrestleMania and it's around the corner, and I cannot stress enough how important this night is going to be. You do not want to miss it. We've seen the beginnings of the NWO, and what started off as some petty rivalry, some petty thuggery, led to some of the most heinous acts in this company's history. Is WrestleMania going to be the end of one of the most destructive forces in No Limits Wrestling history, or is it merely going to be the beginning of an era of destruction? We will find out at WrestleMania.